£20,000. What they choose to do with that money is their own business, although if they don't decide to give it to comic relief, I suspect they'll be stoned in the streets. The crucial thing, if they want to win maximum money, is they'll have to work as a team. But 7 of them will leave with nothing, as round by round we lose the player, voted the weakest link. Let's meet the team.
I'm Dermot, I'm 42, I'm from Hollywood in County Down, and I'm a newsreader.
I'm Lloyd, I'm 50, I'm from London, and I'm a writer and broadcaster.
I'm Michael, I'm 65, I'm from Notting Gate, London, I'm a movie director and newspaper columnist.
I'm Emma, I'm 39, I'm from London, and I'm a presenter.
I'm George, I'm 45, I'm from London, and I'm a BBC News presenter.
I'm Bob, I'm 49, I'm from County Dublin in Ireland, and I'm an astrophysicist.
I'm Kirsty, I'm 46, I'm from Glasgow, and I allegedly present Newsnight.
I'm Les, I'm 47, I'm from Liverpool, and I'm a game show host.
Now, the rules. In each round, the aim is to answer enough questions correctly to reach your £2,500 target within the time limit. The fastest way is to create a chain of 8 correct answers. Get your question wrong, and you break the chain and lose all the money in that chain. But if you say bank before the question is asked, the money is safe. However, you start a new chain from scratch. We begin with the person whose name is first alphabetically. That's you, Bob. Let's play the weakest link. The first question is for £50. Start the clock. Bob, in literature, how is the children's writer Mrs. Darrell Walters of Green Hedges better known?
Enid Blyton.
Correct. Kirsty, which French singer played Billy Flynn in the West End musical Chicago from September 2000?
Bank.
No, you've got to answer the question. Sacha Distel. Les, what was former MP Norman Tebbett's job before entering politics?
Sorry, whose?
What was former MP Norman Tebbett's job before entering politics?
He was arts correspondent.
No, he was an airline pilot. Dermot, in geography, does the term the British Isles include the Outer Hebrides?
Yes.
Correct. Lloyd, which girl's name was the title of Barry Manilow's first UK hit in 1975?
Mandy.
Correct. Michael, what do the British call what the Americans call a pacifier?
No idea.
A baby's dummy. Emma, from which industry did the Rothschild dynasty gain their fortune?
Banking.
Banking. Correct. George, which Spanish... Time is up. I cannot complete the question. And spectacularly in that round, team, you managed to bank absolutely nothing. You could, of course, have won £2,500. The question is, whose skills are better suited to ITV? Who clearly can't work without knowing the answers to the questions beforehand? Who, anyway, is on their last legs in show business? One of you, quite justifiably, is about to leave with nothing. It's time to vote off the weakest link.
Statistically, the strongest link is Lloyd, and the weakest link is Michael. He didn't get any questions right and lost the most money for the team. But in a poor first round, how will the votes go?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Michael.
Les.
Les.
Michael.
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 George, you didn't get the chance to answer a question.
Must say I'm rather glad of that.
Because your teammates took so long. Do you think when you get round to answering a question, you'll be any good?
I'm certain of it.
Kirsty, I asked you who the star of Chicago was, and you said Bank. I don't think any of us have heard of a French star called Bank.
Sacha Bankel.
Why Michael?
Because I think we're keeping away from one of his interminably long lunches.
Les? Why Michael?
Why Michael? Well, I know that he wants to leave early.
Right. How do you think you did, Michael?
I think I did very well. I got to leave early.
Did you know that statistically you were the worst player?
Well, I didn't know, but it's a great honour to be told.
Michael, with 6 votes, you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Bye-bye, bye-bye. Thank you very much. Well, I was terribly happy to be voted out, because as Les said, I wanted to go early, and I'm very pleased, and I thank them all. On what I've seen so far, they're all so dreadful, including myself, that they should all be voted out really and get some people in with a brain.
Round 2, team. In that first round, you could have won £2,500. In fact, you banked absolutely nothing. There are 7 players left. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round, astonishingly. That's you, Lloyd. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Lloyd, in fashion, what does the abbreviation LBD mean?
What?
In fashion, what does the abbreviation LBD mean?
Pass.
Little black dress. Emma. If Air Force One is the US President's official aeroplane, to what does the code name Marine One refer?
I don't know.
Helicopter. George, what musical instrument has a neck, a waist and a chin rest?
A violin.
Correct. Bob, in TV, who is the Teletubby pal of Tinky, Winky, Lala and Poe?
Plunky.
Dipsy. Kirsty, in sport, which governing body has the initials IOC?
International Olympic Committee.
Correct. Les.
Bank.
When you're weary, feeling small, are the opening words of which Simon and Garfunkel hit?
When you're really feeling small, it's a bridge over troubled water.
Correct.
Bank.
Dermot, in maths, what is 70% of 300?
210.
Correct. Lloyd, who was the first Roman Catholic president of the United States of America?
John F. Kennedy.
Emma. Time is up. You missed out on another £2,500 in that round. You did at least manage to bank £100. Who is responsible? Excuse me. Who is responsible for that very poor performance? Who is very clearly out of their depth? Who is too stupid to remain on the team? One of you is about to leave with nothing. It's time to vote off the weakest link.
Dermot is the strongest link, and Bob is this round's weakest link statistically. But will the rest of the team have picked up on this?
Voting over. It's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Sir Bob.
Les.
Lloyd.
Les.
Lloyd.
Les.
Lloyd.
We have a tie. Les and Lloyd, 3 votes each. Just a general piece of advice for the team. If you don't know the answer to a question, there is really very little point, and it is unhelpful to pretend you do by pausing.
I didn't pretend.
I'm just addressing the team at the moment.
Well, why are you looking at me?
Why did you vote for Les?
Well, because for a minute I was afraid that Dermot was going to get the heave-ho and I'd be lonely.
Right.
He keeps voting for me. He's voted me twice and I got a question right then.
Les, why Lloyd?
Because he keeps voting for me. And he started with somebody else's name and scribbled it out, look.
I'm so sorry about that.
When the vote is tied, the strongest link has the deciding vote. Dermot, you were the strongest link. Would you like to get rid of Lloyd or Les?
All right, good, it's coming out now.
Hi, Dermot.
Seeing as I voted for neither of them, I think Lloyd better go because it's upsetting you too much.
Lloyd, Dermot has decided. You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Goodbye. When I came here today, my only thought was to survive the first round. And I did. I feel very happy because I got 2 out of 3 questions right at any rate, which is something. And I guess Dermot wanted to give me the heave-ho for tactical reasons, but I'll still watch him on the news.
Round 3, team. By now you could have won £5,000. In fact, you have in the bank £100, and it would be fair to say we have never had such a poor amount in the bank before. You are down to 6 players. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Dermot. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Dermot, in clothing, what D is traditionally a workman's jacket, often with leather across the shoulders?
Donkey jacket.
Correct. Emma, in the TV cartoon series The Simpsons, what is the name of the bar frequented by Homer Simpson?
I don't know.
Moe's. George, Devil's Dyke near Hove is in which English county?
Sussex.
No, East Sussex. Bob, according to legend, who sprinkles dust on children's eyes to make them sleepy?
Peter Pan.
The Sandman. Kirsty, complete the saying, the opera ain't over until...
The Fat Lady Sings.
Correct. Les,
Bang.
in the human body, in which organ would you find the mitral valve?
The heart.
Correct.
Bank.
Dermot, in the pantomime Cinderella, what is the name of the page boy in Baron Hardup's house?
Pass.
Buttons. Emma, in the animal kingdom, the bottlenose, characterised by its built-in smile, is a species of which aquatic mammal?
I have no idea.
Dolphin. George, which
Bang.
mythical creature with a single horn was able to outwit all captors except virgins? Time's up. The correct answer was unicorns. Yet again, team, you banked only £100. One of you is about to leave with nothing. It's time to vote off the weakest link.
Les is the strongest link this round. Emma is the weakest link statistically, as she got the most questions wrong. But will the voting reflect the reality?
Voting over. It's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
George.
Bob.
Dermot.
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 George.
Bob, why Dermot?
Because he works for ITV and, of course, it's a BBC show. And, but he also voted against me for no reason whatsoever, and he's a fellow Paddy, so I thought it'd be Paddies together. But no, we had this agreement, and he stiffed me, so bye, Dermot, you know.
Emma,
Yes.
how do you think you did in that last round?
Okay, I so obviously know I was the weakest link in that round. But I couldn't vote for myself, so I voted for Bob because he thought one of the Teletubbies was Plonker.
Statistically, you were the weakest link in that last round.
I'm really sorry.
But Dermot, with 3 votes, the team has decided you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
I think if I was given a choice between root canal work with no anaesthetic and another round of that with Anne Robinson, I'd go for the root canal work. I cannot believe Bob Geldof is still playing and I'm in here. That man doesn't know anything. Doesn't know when to bank, doesn't know any of the answers anyway, even if he could bank.
Round 4, team. And out of potential prize money of £7,500, this team, allegedly containing some of the best brains in Britain, has managed to bank just £200. There are 5 of you left. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Les. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Les, in travel, does London's Heathrow Airport have 2, 6 or 12 runways?
12.
2. Emma, an audiometer is used to measure the sharpness of which of the 5 senses?
Sound.
Hearing. George, pop star Britney Spears is from which American state?
Texas.
Louisiana. Bob, in art, what is the original Tate Gallery in London, first opened in 1897, now called?
Tate Britain.
Correct. Kirsty, how many pints are there in 1 gallon?
8.
Correct. Les, what word can mean both an archbishop and a gorilla?
Monkey?
Primate. Emma, what's the capital of the Republic of Angola?
I don't know.
Luanda. George, who directed the film The 39 Steps in 1935?
Buchan.
Alfred Hitchcock. Bob, which Z is the American slang term for a pimple?
Sit.
Correct. Kirsty, in sport, the Old Course is the name of a golf course in which Scottish town?
St Andrews.
Correct. Yes.
said bank.
Time's up. Yet again, team, you managed to bank absolutely nothing.
Oh.
It's probably silly to say who is holding you back, because that could be almost all of you. Let me just say it's time to vote off the weakest link.
Kirsty is the strongest link for the first time in the game. In a change of fortune, Les is now the weakest link statistically. But will the votes follow the facts?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
George.
Emma.
No!
George.
Les.
Bob.
Emma, how do you feel you've done so far?
Yeah, admittedly not as well as I had hoped, but I am the youngest member on the team, so...
So you're the one who was most recently at university?
You could put it like that, yeah.
Bob! What's George done to upset you?
I, generally don't watch the news when he's on, so I don't see why he should be standing beside me now,
Les, what's your job?
I'm a game show host, Anne.
What does that involve?
It involves asking questions, being where you are, but being polite about it.
Statistically, you were the worst player.
I know I was,
Right.
but I got away with it.
So, George, with 2 votes, you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
I think Emma should be voted off next. I mean, I can't remember exactly, but it seemed to me she got quite a few questions wrong, and I think the team would stand a better chance with some of the others.
Round 5. Your total so far is an embarrassing £200. If you'd hit your target, it would be £10,000. There are 4 of you left. We start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Kirsty. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Kirsty, which everyday instrument takes its name from the Greek for distant and sound?
Dunno.
Telephone. Les. Spiny and hairy are the 2 main types of which small mammal?
Spiders.
Hedgehog. Emma, in Western Christian tradition, what E is the name for the 12th day after Christmas?
Epiphany.
Correct. Bob, which farm animal appears on the flag of the Falkland Islands?
Sheep.
Correct. Kirsty, in pop music, who had a hit with Walk on the Wild Side in 1973?
Lou Reed.
Correct. Les, in Cockney rhyming slang, what is tomfoolery?
Schoolery.
Jewellery. Emma, in the animal kingdom, do snakes have movable eyelids?
I couldn't hear the question.
In the animal kingdom, do snakes have movable eyelids?
No.
Correct. Bob, what Y is the time it takes the Earth to complete one orbit of the Sun?
Sorry?
What Y is the time it takes the Earth to complete one orbit of the Sun?
Why is
it?
Why is it? That makes no sense.
Time is up, team.
It was a Bob Holness question. What? Why?
What letter,
Why are
what word
we?
beginning with
Team! You managed to bank an embarrassing £50. Who is pretending they can't hear the questions in order to cover up the fact that they have no knowledge? It's time to vote off the weakest link.
For the second time in a row, Les is the weakest link statistically, the only player to get all his questions wrong. Can he survive another vote?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Les.
Emma.
Les.
Bob.
Emma,
What?
are you feeling okay? Are you feeling okay?
Yes.
Good, okay. Because you were the strongest link in the last round.
No, was I really?
Epiphany. You've had an epiphany.
Right. Kirsty, why Les?
Because he comes from down here and he should know about slang.
I come from Liverpool.
That is down here.
Les, have you anything else to add to your lamentable performance?
Absolutely not.
Les, you were the worst player statistically, and with 2 votes, the rest of the team have voted you the weakest link.
Goodbye. I feel humiliated because Bob laughed at me. Sir Bob just laughed out loud at me. He didn't make any bones of it. He just went, ha ha ha, Dennis, out, off. I think Emma's the one that should not be playing there. I think Kirsty and Bob have shown that they are head-to-head at the moment. It's Emma. Emma should go. I think she'll be in here in a minute. Any second now, Emma will be here.
Round 6 team. So far, you have banked £250 out of the £12,500 you could have won. 3 of you left. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Emma. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Emma, which item of clothing can come in a balcony or a strapless style?
A bra.
Correct. Bob, which former MP and sportsman is Tory leader William Hague's judo partner?
Sebastian Coe.
Correct. Kirsty, on which side of the road would you drive in Hong Kong?
The left.
Correct. Emma, bardolatry is excessive enthusiasm for the works of which English dramatist?
Again.
Bardolatry is excessive enthusiasm for the works of which English dramatist?
Bardo.
Shakespeare. Bob, which animal's name originates from the ancient Greek words for river and horse?
Rhinoceros.
Hippopotamus. Kirsty, in history after the 1644 Battle of Marston Moor, who was nicknamed Old Ironsides?
Cumberland.
Oliver Cromwell. Emma, how many L's are there in the word parallelogram?
3.
Correct. Bob, in history, to which Northern American Indian people did Geronimo belong?
Apache.
Correct. Kirsty, on the side. Time's up. Now, in that round, you won a not very impressive £200. However, in round 7, whatever you win will be times by 10. The question is, who isn't performing? It's time to vote off the weakest link.
Emma is the strongest link statistically, and Kirsty is the weakest link, as she answered the fewest questions correctly. But at this crucial stage in the game, how will the votes go?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Bob.
Emma.
Bob.
Emma, why Bob?
Well, you know, it was either him or Kirsty, and Kirsty's a babe.
Kirsty, why Bob?
Because he didn't get rhinoceros right.
Would you have known the answer?
No.
Bob, with 2 votes, you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Bye, Anne. Bye, Kirsty.
Bye, Bob.
Bye, everyone. I have the most children. It's all right to humiliate me. I think Kirsty's going to win because it's a BBC show and she's a BBC presenter and they can have the humiliation. They don't mind inflicting it on a father of like 4. I mean, if you ask me which one I'd like to win out of the 2, the answer is neither. They're both.
Round 7 team. So far in the bank is £450. If you'd hit your targets, you could have won by now £15,000. We start with the strongest link for the last round. Amazingly, that's Emma. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Emma, the TV comic Ade Edmondson is married to which comedy writer and actress?
Jennifer Saunders.
Correct. Kirsty, in fashion, what was the first name of the French designer Cardin who popularised catsuits?
Pierre.
Correct. Emma.
Bank.
In geometry, how many sides does a trapezium have?
5.
4. Kirsty, in the Eagle comic, who was known as the pilot of the future?
Dan Dare.
Correct. Emma, from which city did the pop group the Bay City Rollers originate?
Glasgow.
Edinburgh. Kirsty, in which Shakespeare play does the creature Caliban appear?
A Midsummer's Night's Dream.
The Tempest. Emma, who is the Queen's youngest grandchild?
Harry.
Princess Eugenie.
Bank.
Kirsty, the touring band Bjorn Again specialises in cover songs of which 70s
ABBA.
band? Correct. Emma, according to the well-known saying, if you can't stand the heat, get out of the...
Kitchen.
Correct. Kirsty, what sport has styles known as Greco-Roman and Sumo?
Wrestling.
Correct. Emma.
Bank.
Which company was set up in 1994 to own and operate... Time's up. You didn't make it to £2,500. You actually managed to bank £300. We will, however, times it by 10 and add it to the winnings from the previous rounds. That means prize money this evening of £3,450. But Only one of you can take that money away. So now you will be playing against each other head to head. I'll ask alternate questions. It's the best of 3. Whoever answers the most questions correctly wins. It's as simple as that. If there's a tie after 3 questions each, we'll go for sudden death until we have a winner. So Emma and Kirsty, for £3,450, let's play The Weakest Link. Kirsty is the strongest link in the last round. You have the choice of who goes first.
First.
Kirsty, which member of the pop group Steps is also a letter of the alphabet?
H.
That is the correct answer. Emma, what kind of entertainer is a funambulist? You cannot cheat.
Somnambulist, is it? Someone that sleeps.
You cannot. I'm sorry, Emma. You are playing against each other.
Is it someone who walks on fire?
No, it's a tightrope walker.
I wouldn't have got that either.
Kirsty, what Yiddish word meaning melted chicken fat is also used to describe something over-sentimental?
Schmaltz.
That is the correct answer.
I wouldn't have got that.
Emma, you need to answer this question correctly to remain in the game. In the children's film Toy Story 2, which actor was the voice of Stinky Pete, the prospector? Take your time.
How much time?
As much as you like.
Go and see the film.
I completely don't know, but I will hazard a guess, which I know will be wrong, at George Clooney.
The correct answer is Kelsey Grammer. That means, Kirsty, amazingly, you are tonight's strongest link. It's not funny, Kirsty. And you go away with £3,450. Emma,
Yes.
you leave with nothing. Kirsty, what do you intend to do with the money?
Give it to Comic Relief straight away.
I should hope so. Well, there we go. A very special show that just goes to show no matter how clever you are, the chances are that one day you will in fact be the weakest link. Goodbye.
My most embarrassing moment was not all the wrong answers, there were plenty of those, but it was saying bank after the question on several occasions.
Probably the most embarrassing moment was the Stinky Pete episode.
Anne, I think, was incredibly scary. Very dark. She reminded me of kind of Darth Vader.
Anne is scary, isn't she? She is scary.
Thank you very much for watching. Now it's your turn to do a lot better than we did for Comic Relief.